Alrighty, welcome to the AM News Now. Coming up, ECOWAS citizens to be issued with biometric identification card from 2016 to ease movement and aid security in the sub-region. Also, the Electoral Commission is currently receiving applications for the transfer of votes. We get down to the details of the stories. ECOWAS citizens will from 2016 be issued with original block biometric identification card to ease movement and aid security in the sub-region. This follows a recommendation made by the ECOWAS Council of Ministers at the end of the 73rd meeting in Abuja over the weekend, seeking the issuance of the biometric cards on a pilot basis in 2016. The issuance of the biometric identification cards will enable seamless travel for citizens within the region and remove the requirement for residence permits for ECOWAS nationals migrating to any of the member states. The identity cards to replace the ECOWAS travel certificate will be circulated alongside national identity cards of member countries until full implementation. This is to ensure the security of migrants and data management within the sub-region. The ECOWAS heads of state will be meeting today, Monday, December 15, to review the major activities during the year, including the security situation and the Ebola crisis here in the sub-region. Now, back home, the Electoral Commission has announced that it is currently receiving applications for the transfer of votes. The transfer of votes is for persons who currently reside in a place other than the place where they registered as voters and wish to transfer their vote to the new place of residence to vote on election day. A statement signed by the Electoral Commission Deputy Chairman of Operations Amadu Sule said the exercise is in accordance with Regulations 20 and of the Public Elections Regulations 2012. The statement said a person only qualifies to transfer his vote to another place if prior to the application for the transfer of his or her vote, he or she has resided in the present location for a minimum of 2 months. All applicants are expected to provide physical proof of the new residence in addition to signing a declaration. All applications for the transfer of votes are to be sent to the returning officer in the district where the applicants currently reside, and the deadline is Monday, January 20, 2015. Reminds the public that once a transfer of vote is effected, it is permanent and shall remain the new polling station of the applicants. Well, elsewhere, graduating nurses and midwives from the Eastern Regional Nursing Training School have been advised to refrain from verbal abuse and insults on patients. At the 50th anniversary celebration and graduation of 202 graduates of the college, the Chief Director of the Ministry of Health, Salimata Abdul Salam, said those who fail to comply will not last long in the profession. Here's a report filed by Haruna Yusuf Wompuni.
The Koforidua Nursing and Midwifery Training School was established in 1964 as a ward assistance training school under the leadership of Comforter Krofi. When the ward assistance program was phased out in 1980, the state registered nursing program was introduced, making the school a nurses training college. In 1999, the state registered nursing program was upgraded to registered general nursing diploma. The college has a male and female population of 541 students. The major challenge facing the nursing training college is the absence of a male students hostel. School authorities have converted an old science laboratory and classroom as hostels. Also, female students are overcrowded in the few dormitories the school has. Ms. Salimata Abdul Salam is the Chief Director of the Ministry of Health.
The socio-economic development of every country hinges, and I repeat, hinges on the quality and productivity of its human capital. It is in this vein that the government has established a number of health training schools to train health personnel to meet the health needs of our people. It is therefore heartwarming to note that the Koforidua Nursing and Midwifery Training School is serving this purpose very, very well, and we urge you to even endeavor to strive harder.
The principal of the Kufuor Nursing and Midwifery Training College, Mrs. Doreen Osai Ayensu, explained that the college has trained over 5,095 nurses and 1,935 midwives for the country. She enumerated the challenges facing the school.
Currently, they are housed in an old science laboratory and a classroom. The female students, however, are overcrowded in the few dormitories that they have. Meanwhile, foundation for a hostel we started over 40 years ago is still in its foundation stage, being subjected to sunshine, dew and rain. It is hoped that when the students' hostels are completed, it will help increase intake of students, especially males.
A total of 202 students graduated as nurses and midwives. Haruna Yusuf Wumpini's reports from Kufuor.
Well, Christmas is characterized by lots of activities that make the season interesting and memorable. One of such activities is the use of firecrackers, but the danger associated with artillery and canister shells has given the police no option but to impose a ban on explosives because of the danger it poses to the public.
It's Xmas again, and we haven't lots of explosives on the market, but the police has issued a statement about explosives.
This is a menace. Some of them intentionally threw some at a moving car. So it is upon this that police, we are coming out with this statement that certain categories of the knockouts should not be entertained in the general market. And we have said that firecrackers, display shells, artillery shells, ball and canister shells. These are the 4 categories that we came up with. So we are informing the general public not to import this at all.
Canister shells, artillery shells, knockouts, just to name but a few. All these flood the markets during Christmas. Well, to the adventurous ones, there is no doubt the firecrackers makes the season more interesting. But the challenge is the risk associated with those explosives. Head of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Ampa Benin, says the police had to impose the ban because of the dangers associated with the use and the casualties recorded at the police hospital.
Some of them, they keep long in throwing it away, and we have records of people whose fingers have been snapped off because they kept the rocket long enough before throwing it, so the thing burst in their palm, cutting off some fingers. And we have records of a number of casualties at the police hospital.
It is a period for brisk business for businessmen and women who ply their trade in the sales of explosives. Hawau is a trader and has been selling explosives every Christmas season. She tells me how booming business has been.
So far, so good. As time is going on, business is picking small. So I'm sure by next week everything will be okay.
Hawau, however, won't say how she manages to get explosives into the country since the police has imposed a ban on its sale and usage. Canister and artillery shells and knockouts, according to the police, threatens public peace. Enforcing the ban and the usage of these Christmas explosives remains the challenge for law enforcement agencies. Latif Idris, Joy News, Accra.
I'm sure some of you might be asking, what is Christmas without knockouts? Well, the head of public affairs of the police service, DCOP Ampa Benin, says institutionalizing the Independent Complaint Commission intended to police the police shows how credible the Ghana Police Service is. He has therefore called on the public to lend its support to make the work of the Independent Complaint Commission a success.
Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defence and Interior, Fritz Balfour, believes Police personnel themselves are calling for the Independent Complaints Commission, a body intended to police the police, and the least government could do is to give the needed support for the establishment of such an institution in order to bring some credibility to the police. He says credibility for PIPs has dwindled, hence the need to have a body to regulate the activities of police officers.
Independent Police Complaints Commission, it's very, very necessary. When the coalition came to Parliament and we discussed the issue, on both sides of the political divide, every member was supportive of the fact that we need that Complaints Commission. And the reasons have been shown. They're obvious that the police will be hard-pressed to go against their own, or if they go against their own, then they'll come together against one person, and so maybe a person may be victimized. There is the possibility, we're not saying that that is their intention, but there's the possibility. And you've got to remove that possibility because everybody is entitled to some form of justice.
The recent Afrobarometer findings place the police first on the log as the most corrupt institution in the country. Prior to the release, however, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Ahmed Al-Hassan, rolled out a campaign admonishing civilians from corrupting officers. Thus, coupled with other interventions like the institutionalization of PIPs, is a clear indication of how the police is determined to root out corruption from its personnel. The Director of Public Affairs of the Police Service, DCOP Ampa Benin, says the police is the only institution credible enough to set up a body to investigate and keep its men in check.
PIPs is the best thing that happened to the police. And there's no other institution in the whole country, Ghana, no organization, not even Joy FM, which has established a unit like this to check its personnel. None, only the Ghana Police Service. Instead of people to applaud us and give us, nobody, everybody want to find fault. Okay. We have done something to check on our own excesses, our own infrastructure, what we believe that our men can do. We have established an institution to check it. Throughout the country, nobody has done it. And that not JFM saying police have done well. Nobody is saying, but people are rather trying to punch holes in it.
He further indicated Ghanaians should support the police to succeed. Latif Idrisu's report for Joy News.
Well, that's it for the AM News. At least for now, we do have more news, though, at myjoyonline.com. Coming up in a little bit is Baba Tando. She's got all the sport, but prominent is that 3-0 defeat to Liverpool. I hope it will be the headline. Stay with us.